Good morning. It is time for Coffee with Kristin and Tina. Good morning. Welcome to Coffee with Kristin and Tina. We're your hosts this morning. This is Kristin Odell of Grow with KLO, and I'm Tina Prigge of Vagabond Creative Studio. So good to see you all on this day before Thanksgiving.
It is Thanksgiving Eve today.
And I am thankful for you, Kristin.
Oh, Tina, I'm thankful for you. I love you guys so much.
Aw, ditto. And viewers, I'm so thankful for all of you. Thank you for joining us. Thank you for watching us. Thanks for hanging with us every week and just having these fun conversations. We never know where they're going to go. It's always edifying.
Yeah, I mentioned this to you last week, kind of off the show, but I ran into an amazing viewer last
Morning,
week
Connor.
at an event, and I loved it because she came up and she's like, "Oh my gosh!" And the person that I was with, she knew, and we were talking. And then she was like, "I don't actually know you." So cool because she felt like she knew us from watching the show, and I love that, and it broke the ice so much, and we had so much fun talking. And her feedback was that it's just easy and fun to listen to us. Like there's always fun topics, and it's just positive and laid back.
I love that. And I love that connection, right? That she felt like there was already that relationship
Right.
from watching, right? Because that starts then the new connection on kind of an
Right.
elevated platform rather than breaking the ice from complete scratch.
Yeah, absolutely. And it like opened the door for me to be like, tell me about you. Tell me why you like the show. Tell me more. She was talking about camping, and then she was like, "Oh my gosh, and you guys go camping?" And like it was really, really cool. And it was absolutely the beginning of a connection that I know will carry forward in real life, not just online.
That's beautiful on so many levels. And thank you. Viewers, when you come up to us and you give us that positive feedback, that's really like the wind beneath our wings. That's what fuels us to keep us going. And we love that. And we're so thankful for
Right.
you.
Yeah.
Stephen,
Connor,
happy Thanksgiving to you and your family.
good morning,
He's
Steve.
I'm thankful for being able to partake in this weekly Facebook Live with you two. Aw.
Yeah. Connor, good morning.
Yes, good morning, Connor. Thanks for watching. So it is Thanksgiving Eve. Kristin, you shared a photo that you are, ready to prepare. And I love this. I want to put it up because this detailed list is awesome. I love how prepared you are.
Well, I'm not fully prepared, but we're really working on it. So all the groceries are now in my house. That's always a win. The check mark indicated that I had everything for that particular recipe or that somebody else was taking care of it. So you can see like biscuits, my mom is making that. So I wrote mom, and that gave me pleasure of being able to check that off. And yeah, it's just been kind of fun to plan this out. And the other thing I'll mention, the first thing on the list is Jello cake. So this is where you like layer Jello and sweetened condensed milk in a pan until it's like layered up rainbow Jello. And it's a bit of a laborious project. So Grace and I have been working on it together, but it'll be fun to see this all come together and be able to share a meal as a family.
What's the fourth thing down on the list?
Um, California medley casserole.
Oh,
This recipe goes back to my grandma Zip, so my mom's mom. She always made this. Was a Christmas Day recipe for her traditionally. She always made ham on Christmas Day, and we would go to her house. So it is California medley vegetables, cream of chicken soup. There's milk in there. There's cheddar cheese in there. And you mix it up and you put it in a casserole baking dish. And then before you put it in the oven, you melt butter in a frying pan and you toast croutons. So, like, croutons are already kind of toasty, but you toast herbed croutons in butter in a frying pan and you put them on top. And then you bake that in a casserole dish. And it's
what?
like it's like cheesy broccoli and cauliflower. It's really, really amazing.
So based on this list, does that mean that like every Thanksgiving you kind of mix it up? It's not always the same menu. You sort
Yeah,
of
we do
prepare a
kind of
menu.
mix it up. Yeah, we do mix it up. And because sometimes like my in-laws are also going, I should say, my sister-in-law and my brother have another place to go and they're going to eat traditional Thanksgiving there for lunch. So then I was like, it'd be kind of nice, like not that people don't enjoy eating the same meal twice, but I feel like it's nice to have things that are mixed up a little bit. So we chose to hit the easy button and not labor over turkey this year. We're getting fried chicken. And then we're doing, yeah, exactly. And we're just gonna do some different sides. So we're still having a white meat, like we're still having some very classic, like layered jello is a very old school thing to have, but we're just trying to have some fun with it and mix it up a little bit.
I did read a little blurb recently that said there are a number of people that admit to preferring the sides at Thanksgiving to the actual turkey. Where
Yeah.
do you fall in that?
I'm totally a side girl, 100%. I could eat all the sides, and I love the variety of sides that comes with the holiday. Like, I don't make that many sides otherwise. Maybe I
Yeah,
should,
right, right.
but yes, I could eat all the sides.
All right, favorite side?
Ooh, that's hard. That's a
Like if you
hard
were going back for seconds, is there one you're always like, I hope there's still some left?
Well, so my mom, we're not making these for Thanksgiving, but my mom makes onion and chive mashed potatoes, which have like onion and chive cream cheese, sour cream,
Mm.
butter, milk, and they're technically, let me think about this. Are they? No, they're not thrice baked. They're twice baked. They're boiled and she mashes them and then you bake them. I was trying to think through that. Sorry. My
You guys, early on a Wednesday morning, we just witnessed Kristin doing math.
That's right. There's a reason I went into HR and not accounting, by the way. Um, so yes, probably those. Definitely mashed potatoes. I'm a sucker for. I'm trying to think what else. The other one that's probably a pretty big hit in our family is I'm making. We call it Snicker salad, which you might be wondering, how is something with Snickers considered a salad?
Yes, do tell us more.
You heard it here first. It is pudding and Cool Whip and Granny Smith apples. Some recipes have crushed pineapple in and cut up Snicker bars. And it just so happens we have all these Snicker bars left over from trick or treating. So
Halloween.
I am making Snicker salad as one of our sides.
Does that count as a dessert or it still falls in the sides category?
That is a fruit. That is a fruit at Thanksgiving.
That's awesome. Okay, viewers, if you're watching, tell us now, what's your favorite side at Thanksgiving? Is there something that it's your number one that maybe you only have it on Thanksgiving? Is there something you always hope to go back for seconds?
Oh,
Connor says, I will admit my family has shifted to steaks for the main, but I
yeah.
love cranberry meatballs as well as the cornbread dish. Oh, that sounds delicious, Connor. A cranberry meatball? Wow.
Yeah, I want to, Connor, if you can give us a link for that or even something close, I would love to hear more about what that is.
Yeah.
And I don't know if this is the same. So cornbread is always amazing. We also have gotten in the habit of having corn casserole sometimes, which is like corn custard. I know that sounds disgusting, but I promise it's really, really delicious. So
Kayla said, I am drooling. Kristin is an amazing cook. Happy Thanksgiving. Happy
uh,
Thanksgiving to you too, Kayla.
thanks, Kayla. Kayla, what's your favorite side? Or do you
So,
guys like the main? Maybe somebody likes the main. I guess if you don't have like turkey very often, it's kind of a treat to have it.
I mean, I would be sad if there weren't the turkey, right? There's something about it that I love, and I'm a drumstick girl, right? I love the turkey drumstick, but even more than the turkey drumstick, I love the green bean salad. I love the sweet potatoes. I love cranberries. So I love like that savory, meatiness with like
Yeah.
then the kind of coldness and the sour
Well,
sweet of the
yeah, I was
cranberries.
gonna say there's like a tartness to, do you make cranberry something or do you just like pop it out of a can and slice it?
I I know this isn't very fancy, but I love the canned jellied cranberries, like where you slice it and it still has like the shape of the
Yes,
can.
my mom loves that too. And honestly, my mom will probably show up on Thursday with a can for us to pop out of and slice. Totally.
No, like sometimes my mom will serve both, like
Yep.
from the can and then, more of the traditional style. They're both great, but there's
Mhm.
just something about the canned cranberries. When I lived in Japan, I was craving them so much. I figured out how to order some, but you had to order them by the case. So like a case of canned cranberries.
I
showed up
love
at my
it.
door.
I love it. Kayla's got up that her favorite is mashed potatoes. Mhm.
Yum.
So good.
And the stuffing. I think I didn't mention stuffing. Stuffing is so good.
Yeah, so you couldn't see this under my list on the counter, but I'm actually making my grandma Zip used to make, yeah, it's all covered up, sorry. My grandma Zip used to make this amazing homemade stuffing. And we don't really have like an official family recipe. I'm sure there were gizzards in her original recipe. We've kind of grown out of that organ meat phase as a family. But my aunt Cindy kind of recreated the recipe with ground beef and ground pork, and then there's celery and breadcrumbs and all these amazing things in it. And so I'm gonna make that this year. And this is the best part. We're gonna call it crazy stuffing. I mistakenly ordered 5 orders of crazy bread from Little Caesars last week in an order by accident. Doug came home and he's like, "Did you really plan to buy 5 bags of breadsticks?" Obviously not. So we had 3 or 4 bags of breadsticks left, and so I froze them, and I'm gonna cube them up and dry it, and I'm gonna use the crazy breadsticks in the stuffing as the bread. Like, I have 1 bag of regular, and so we'll see how it goes.
I mean, it's brilliant because it's already got like a garlicky, buttery kind of
Yes.
flavor to it. Oh, that's
Yes.
brilliant, Kristen, and very sustainable.
Yeah. I felt bad throwing them away, so
Yeah. Hey, Connor said, here's a good one. What is everyone thankful for from this year, and what are they looking forward to for the rest of the year and the new year? Okay, Connor, make sure you tell us in the chat. Make sure you answer that question. Kristen, how about you?
oh man, you're putting me on the spot. I feel okay. I choose to be specific because I hate when somebody asks this question, then it's generic. A generic answer like, "I'm just so thankful for my family." Yes, that's very nice, but like I want something specific. So I will say this summer we got to go camping with our camper 7 times. And I know I've talked about it on the show, we shared pictures, but, like, that family time is really that quality time with Doug and the girls is just really, really important to me, and it's really, like, my happy place probably all throughout the year. The thing that I look forward to the most is camping and sneaking away, so I'm just gonna say I'm thankful for that 7 little moments of time we got to go camping this year.
Yeah, that's awesome. You know,
Okay, how about you?
I'm thankful for my 2 guys, right? For Jason and Teek. I'm really happy that Teek is thriving in school and is kind of, finding the path that he wants to take as a mom. That's huge relief, and I feel really proud. Kind of like you with the camping, we got motorcycles this summer, and every second that we were able to be zipping around together, was just amazing. And, driving some of the same roads just this past week in the snow, I had a whole different appreciation. I felt like I got to know them so much more intimately via the
Mhm.
motorcycle, and,
Yeah, you
it
get
just
to see it. You see things differently, right?
yeah. And I'm gonna be the aunt of a niece finally.
Oh, yay, that's so
Yeah.
exciting. Remind me, is that coming up soon or is it more into next year?
Like March, end of February, early March.
Okay, fun. Oh
And
my gosh.
and here's what Connor said. He said, "I'm thankful for the opportunities I've been able to partake in, whether it's generally working, volunteering, friends, and of course, family." Really well said, Connor.
Yeah. Yep. I love that. Actually, on that note, I've got my Lighthouse recovery sweatshirt on today. My fingers are not working in the right order, so we'll just do this. But to that point, volunteering, when you get to volunteer in our community, it makes you feel so good, and those people that are on the receiving end of that, whatever you're doing, that care is always appreciated. And we started serving family dinner with Lighthouse Recovery once a month. We go to the center on Park Street and make dinner and share a meal, and it has been really special for all of us. So um really quick, I'm just going to plug not just Lighthouse but all nonprofits. Next Tuesday is Giving Tuesday, and there's going to be promotions on Facebook and all over to give. Please consider supporting our nonprofits either with wish lists that they have or financially, because it's the time of year where they're serving huge populations of people around the holidays.
Yeah. And volunteering your time, that makes a huge difference too.
Yeah, for sure.
Speaking of volunteers and cool things that are happening, the Evergleams on 8th Street are popping up downtown and at the Manitowoc Public Library. And I was just thinking about how cool it is that there are collectors that are sharing these treasures that were all made in Manitowoc. These are all vintage trees, right? That were manufactured in Manitowoc, like during the 1960s. They kind of fell out of vogue for a while. You know, somebody said, "Oh, I got one at a rummage sale for $1,4," and now they're collector's items again, right? But this is like a snapshot of Manitowoc history, and the fact that there are so many of them on display is kind of amazing. It's like this unique treasure that no other city has.
Right. We were sitting on the corner of 8th and Maritime Drive, and there is a silver with red bows in the window at Forefront Dermatology. Their offices are right there. And the girls and I were like talking about it, and they were saying, like, do you think the bows stick on? Like, did somebody just stick bows on that? And I'm like, no, they were manufactured that way.
And they're like spring loaded. You have to like squeeze it and then you like stick it on the end of the branch and like the spring
Like,
like releases.
I
Yeah.
love it. Yeah, I saw that you guys did a show on the Evergleams with the library and the display at the library. And it's so fun to see them popping up in windows. But I can't wait to take the girls to the library so they get to see just all the different variety and how beautiful they are.
Yeah, and what's cool, what they were saying is like, some of them were small, like they were as small as 2 feet, and they went all the way up to like 10 feet is what
Mhm.
they knew. But then just this past year, apparently, there were some sisters in Kansas that contacted them and said, "We've got a 14-foot one that was custom manufactured." So the sisters drove it up and it's going to be on display at the library.
That is so cool.
So what I love about that is that means, this all happened 50 years ago, right? That these were manufactured, but
Right.
they're still being discovered, right? The forest at the library continues to grow year after year.
Well, and it's not just a Manitowoc thing. Like, Kansas is pretty far away, Dorothy, right? Oh, wow, that's super cool.
Yeah. Yeah. So make sure they look at the different styles too when you take them to the library. Some of them are flat,
Mhm.
because people didn't have as much space. Some have like frosted tips. Some have like a little fountain poof at the end.
Yeah, some of them are, like, uplit where they spin and they have, like, different colored lights underneath them because they're traditionally all silver, but the accent lights can make them different colors also. Uh,
Yeah.
so very, very
And so
cool.
talking about cool things to do. So tonight is the night before Thanksgiving. It means the holiday parade is tonight. Did you know that Santa is going to be at the Raw West Art Museum?
I saw that, and actually, Rower West has events going on. I think I saw as early as 4:30 this afternoon. So make sure you check out. I saw it on Facebook, but I'm sure you can check out their website as well.
Yeah. So if you've got younger kids, especially going to visit Santa before the parade, is a really great idea. And there's usually a little reception, cider, hot cocoa, cookies. Then Santa is in the parade. And at the end of the parade, they drop him back off at the Raw West Art Museum so people can continue meeting with him. It's really a
Yes.
great way to start the holidays. And as Connor is reminding us, yay, the elevator. So the elevator is now, I believe, open and ready to take people barrier free to all the floors of the mansion, which has never been possible before.
Yes, it's so cool. And I'm guessing the mansion is all decked out inside.
I've heard Christmas in the Mansion starts tonight. Yep.
Awesome. Go check it out again. And I have never been there at Christmas. Isn't that sad? I need to go
Oh,
there.
oh, take the girls. Yeah, it's a good memory to have.
Very, very cool. Okay,
So,
you
do
can't
you
say
have
you
a
don't have anything to do tonight.
yeah, do you have a location that you're going to watch the parade from?
I do. We always sit by Bank First National on 8th Street. That's our spot because I have little kids, and that way we're close to Quick Trip where there's hot chocolate and bathrooms.
Yeah, good call. Good call. And there are porta potties that will be along the route.
Very
So
nice.
in past years, I think that's a recent development, right?
I was
Which is really a welcome development.
brilliant, very brilliant. Tina, you're covering the parade tonight. Where are you going to be?
I'm going to be on the corner of 8th and Quay, right by the library.
Awesome. So not only could somebody go and see the trees, they could go see Tina.
You could, and you could even wave to the camera, and then you will be on the recording,
Yay.
which
Awesome.
will be available virtually starting Thanksgiving. So
Awesome.
if you're in the parade, or if you wanted to watch a replay of the parade, or you just can't get to the parade, or you just want to relive it, that'll be available starting tomorrow.
I love that you guys have started covering it and that you get to be, part of that and sponsor the parade. By the way, if you didn't go and look, there's a ton of local small businesses and companies sponsoring the parade this year. Go check it out.
Yeah, and I'm kind of excited. I was looking at the list of entrants, and it's quite different than years past. Like I think we're going to see some new things, which is exciting. I know the companies that are hosting Mrs. Claus and Santa Claus are super excited. So I'm really looking forward to what they've got. I've seen other people posting pictures of their preparations. So, and the weather looks good. The weather looks good
Yes.
for a parade.
Hey, listen, do you know how many years has the Christmas parade been going on?
This is the 34th.
Really? 34th year. That's so cool. Grace asked me, why do we call it a Christmas parade if it's the night before Thanksgiving? And I said, you have an
What
answer?
did you
Go
say?
for it.
I do have an answer. You have an answer, but I want to hear what you're saying. What you're going to say.
Well, I said to her, it's kind of the official kickoff of the holidays. So, and everybody, I shouldn't say everybody. There's a lot of people that have to work Thanksgiving, but a lot of people are off the next day.
Yep, that's exactly it. It's the kickoff to the holiday season. It's the first night that the decorations are illuminated downtown. When it was, first started, and I still think this stands, is that it, sort of kicks off the holiday shopping season, especially for all the unique boutiques that we have downtown.
Right, right. It's speaking of that, there is a ton of places, small businesses doing Black Friday things over the weekend, Friday and Saturday. So make sure you're supporting your local small businesses this weekend.
We live in such a cool place, don't we? It's why I get so excited. Like we were down in Wisconsin Dells for an event recently, and we stayed in a hotel, and ta-da! It was a Manitowoc ice machine, and that just feels so cool to know that that's from our town.
You didn't take a selfie with it? I love it. Hey, Tina.
Yeah.
Look at that. Sorry, do you have a space in your house that's starting to look like that?
It's beginning to look a lot like Christmas.
Does this speak anybody's holiday love language?
Right. The holidays are a unique time that you have to carve out a space in your house for like temporary staging of gifts, things that you're going to wrap, things that you're going to ship. All right, viewers, what do you do? Where's your secret space in your house that you're amassing all of the goods?
In my house, it's my office, which tends to go from like a nice workspace to a full-on dumping zone. Does anybody have this feel like? You did see some Amazon boxes. That's real life.
And you mentioned you've got a way that you work with the girls, right? You've got young kids. And of course, when there's packages coming in and it's the holidays, I think that every kid's motivation, right, is to tear in and find out what's for them. Tell us how you combat that.
Yeah. So like when I was growing up, my mom would go away with her sisters for a weekend and she would come home and those things would just kind of disappear into the black hole of the house. And then they would reappear on Christmas morning. Well, the new reality is like I shop from my computer a lot, or I'm sending lists to my mom and, different things. And so packages and things arrive here. And sometimes those are things for the girls and sometimes there's something for somebody else. But we don't know what, like the box doesn't say, do not open this, right?
Right.
So the rule is you are not allowed to be on mom's computer at all without permission. And you cannot open Amazon boxes without permission until mom has had a chance. If you open something that happens to have something in it that you shouldn't have seen, you forfeit the right to that gift.
You become ineligible.
You become ineligible for the item in the box.
Wow.
Yes.
And then does your elf on a shelf have something to say about it too? Does he get naughty if that happens?
I'm trying to avoid having him up here this year. Anybody else feel like that? Who came up with this stupid idea?
So you've had it with him?
Yeah, it's one more thing to remember.
Yeah. Let's see. Connor's got a question. Do you think
I love it.
Connor, what will you do with the coal?
Yeah. Give it to the car fairy, maybe.
Yeah.
No, but funny, oddly enough, I watched an episode, Doug shared an episode of me with me yesterday. It was a Dan Patrick show. Dan Patrick's a sports announcer. He has his own radio show. They actually um, stream it online now, so you can watch the guys doing the radio show, which I think is brilliant, by the way. And it was an old episode, and it was about how he took his daughter's, some of her his daughter's birthdays away because she was so terrible, and she missed like her fourth, fifth, and sixth birthday parties because she was so awful. They took the birthdays away, and then he was joking that one Christmas she got coal in her stocking, and she thought it was awesome. It's really good. I'll share the link. You guys will laugh.
That's really sad, though. I mean, it's really sad.
I'll share it with you. It's funny.
Okay, yeah, you'll post it. Okay, that's
And listen,
awesome.
by the way, just in case you were all wondering, she turned out fine. There's nothing wrong with her.
Oh, good. Okay, because you can never get those birthdays back.
Oh, I know. I love it. So,
All right, so because we're streaming the parade tonight, I was busy making pies late into the night, but they're out of the oven, and I think they look pretty good, and hopefully
Ooh.
they're still intact this morning when I go downstairs.
I see homemade forked pie crust there.
Yes. And then, Teek asked me why we do that, and I was like, ooh, I'm not sure. I was just taught to do it that way.
Mhm.
So why? Why do we do that to the crust?
I mean, you don't have to do that. My mom does this like pinching motion with it to make it makes it roughly. I think it's really just about finishing the edge.
Okay.
Because like if you just hacked it off, it wouldn't look very nice.
So yeah, maybe it's because you've got little indents possibly and stuff anyway happen around there.
Yeah, and I mean like when you lay a homemade crust on a pie plate, it doesn't lay evenly around. You typically like trim it off, but it still has a rough edge. So I don't think it serves a purpose formally, but it does make the aesthetics better.
Oh, nice. Cool. Good. Now I can answer them.
Is that a family pie crust recipe that you made?
It is. So my mom makes the most amazing, in my opinion, Thanksgiving feast, right? And it's the traditional turkey and all of the sides, the pies. But there's a lot of us, right? So I've taken over making a couple of the pies, which is like just a tiny drop in the bucket compared to all of the work that she does. But
Right. That's awesome. Is it lard or butter in the crust?
lard.
Mm-hmm. That's a very traditional. That's a very traditional pie crust, by the way.
Yeah, just the 4 ingredients. So it's got flour, some lard, pinch of sugar, and a little bit of water.
No salt. Wow. You'll have to tell us how it is when you cut a slice. Next week, we want to see a picture of the slice of pie when it's cut.
I'll try to remember.
By the way, I went down the road to check on pie pumpkins, and by the time we got down there, they were gone. The snow and the cold, I think, came too early. It's very sad.
Yeah. I'm glad that the snow was last week, though, and that tonight looks like it's going to be a great night for the parade.
It is. Yeah, I think high 30s or low 40s. We might still do boots and snow pants just to be insulated up, but
because you're sitting still and the sun is not shining at that time. Yeah.
yes.
By the way, did you know that there's a sensory sensitive zone at the start of the parade?
I did see that.
Yeah, in case anybody, prefers that, the very first 2 blocks are designated sensory sensitive. So any flashing lights, any loud horns, things like that, music, that will all start after that.
Yeah. Yeah. So if you have somebody that is sensitive to sound, light, noise, maybe even like vibrations, that's a good spot to start.
Yeah. And I love it because otherwise there might not be the opportunity to appreciate a parade.
Right. Right. Very, very cool. So
okay, wait. You've got to tell us about Moana before we go.
Oh, I love your timer. It's the informal, like, hey, your time's almost up. So you guys, next weekend, 1 week from tomorrow, Moana Junior opens in Manitowoc. It's at the UWGB Manitowoc Theater. Treehouse Theater's putting this on. They do not disappoint. This is going to be an amazing show. So there's a show Thursday night, opening night, Friday night. There's 2 shows. I think there's 2 shows on Saturday and a show on Sunday matinee. please go check it out. You can buy tickets right from Treehouse Theater. You get to pick your seats at the UW now, to make sure that everybody gets a seat, but it's going to be really, really good. And my daughter Grace is in the show, so I promise you're going to enjoy it.
Break a leg, Grace. And the UW, I like how spacious it is. I feel like the seats are there's ample room and leg room.
Yes, and there is not a bad seat in that theater, because it's fairly small and quaint. I think it holds 325. Like, you cannot pick a bad seat there. Tickets are $16, so I think that's reasonable enough that if you want to get your family out and maybe this could be one of those holiday experiences, right? Go check it out. It's going to be so good.
Yeah. And experiences are great. When you have shared experiences, those things last and last, and you can revisit them for a long time.
Yes, I will also mention, I haven't officially signed up for this yet, but we typically bake treats for this. They always have a bake sale, and there's a very good possibility on Thursday night and Saturday night you might find baked treats from our family if that is appealing to you at all.
That's awesome. Well, Kristin, I'm so thankful for you. Dear viewers, we are so thankful for you. Everyone, enjoy the parade this evening or whatever it is that you're doing in preparations for Thanksgiving. Happy Thanksgiving to you and your families. And we'll see you next time on Coffee with Kristin and Tina.
Bye, guys.